Yo, it's Paradise Prince. Today we're going to be making a Central Cee type beat. I've already made it. I'm actually just going to break down exactly what I did and go from there with it. This is my first time making a video on camera, so any feedback, drop it below. Let me know what you want next. Let me know if this even works. This may not get any traction at all. Maybe I should just stick to making beats. Let me know what you want next. I can't wait for Central Cee's beat on. I can't wait for Central Cee's album on Friday. You know, I'm gonna try to break down how I make these beats. I've got a lot of years experience and how to actually make music. Any feedback or anything you want next, let me know below.
Without further interruption, let's celebrate and suck some dick.
So this is the beat I made. It's called Tears. I dropped it about over a month ago, I think now. And I'll show you my layout of how I do each beat first of all. That's basically the structure that I break up my beats anyway. I always start with melodies, then I'll go to drums, then I'll go to sound effects after. So every time I make a beat, I always have a template. I do have multiple versions, but this is the one I use the most, which will have melodies, pianos, guitars, synths, all of that labeled in pink for some reason. Just a color that came to me. And then all the drums in blue, tags in black. So to start with the beat Tears, what I've basically done is I've used a sample and I copied the value because I did change the pitch, but this is what the melody sounds like originally. So what I've done is, this was originally in C minor. I pushed it down to G sharp minor, so now it sounds like. This is a vocal sample I found on splice.com. That's something I usually use for my samples, because Central Cee usually uses these background vocals in his songs, which works great for drill beats. So originally this was the second vocal. But I moved it one octave higher. I just preferred it. I thought it was much nicer. I've done quite a lot of effects on the second vocals. Let me take them all off first of all so you can understand what that sounds like. I've added a fruity chorus. I like that electronic voice sound. It's just, I prefer it. I've always used fruity chorus for a lot of things like vocals, for background sounds, etc. So I added some reverb on there. Maybe I wouldn't add the reverb now, with what I know. I'm not a big fan of reverb anymore. I added a gross beat to it. And then I've cut off these and just added a delay to it. And then I just pitched it one octave higher. If I were to do anything different to it now, I would just remove the reverb. Everything else I'd be happy with. So if we play all the melodies together now as they are, I'll have to add the reverb back on. This is what it would sound like. So moving on to the drums, fairly simple. I'm only going to play the chorus because the chorus includes all the drums together, so this is why I'm just playing this section. So with the open hat, with the hi-hats, I've added a drill snare first of all. And all I've done with that is I've just panned it to the left and I got another hi-hat then panned it to the right. I did this and I had two different hi-hats. I remember I used one as a hi-hat, one as a snare. Moving on to the snare, fairly simple. Kick, once again, very simple. One thing I advise with this is push the velocity up to max. So with the kick drum, fairly simple. With the 808, I think I used a Ghosty 808 for this, I think. J Cactus, never mind. But when I tend to use these higher notes, I do turn the velocity down on them, mainly because they are a bit sharp and I don't want them to take away from when someone's rapping over it. Because you've got to remember, although you're adding all these sounds, whenever you make a beat, you need to make it to the point where there's always space for vocals. You can't have it where there's no space at all, otherwise no one can rap over it, no one can sing over it. So you've got to remember, every time you're making a beat, there always needs to sound like there's something missing, and that would be the vocals. If your beat sounds too full to the point where its vocals wouldn't fit it, you need to take away something. Other than that, guys, that's the full beat. I'll leave a link in the description. The beat has already been released. I have released a royalty-free melody kit at the bottom description. If you are looking for melodies, just take that kit. It's royalty-free. If you want to upload them on BeatStars or make your own beats with them, completely fine. It's a free kit. I do not ask for any payment. I will be releasing drum kits soon, more melodies. It's just something I am working on. I'm very busy. And now I'm working on tutorials, which is another thing which I think I'm going to do more often. But other than that, guys, hope you enjoy.